Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another Sailing Doodles podcast. Just want to get something out of the way here first. Kind of rearranging my setup here so the audio quality has a little bit of reverb to certain parts of the video. And I'm aware of that. I'll fix it for next time. I apologize in advance, but I think you'll be interested in some of the information we're talking about here. So thanks for tuning in. All right, welcome to another Sailing Doodles podcast. Been a while. Cheers to you.
Woohoo!
I've got Steph here with me today.
Hey, y'all.
We are currently in the Bahamas. We just rode out that tropical storm that was a little strong.
I know. I keep taking a sip of this, and I'm like, I made it myself, and it's very strong.
Pull that off. We were riding out this tropical storm. I don't think they even named it.
They named it Alex, is what they...
No, I don't think so. I think it was going to be named Alex if it made it. Maybe it has become a named storm. I don't know.
Well, didn't it mostly hit Miami?
Yeah.
And just like after outside parts of it hit us?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So it wasn't too bad. Let me move myself over a little bit there. It wasn't too bad. I mean, like, I don't know. The wind meter doesn't work on this boat, so, I mean, maybe 40 knots of wind. It wasn't that bad.
It was a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, it was wet.
So speaking of a lot of wind, we were just in Greece, and for a lot of days we didn't have much wind, but for several days we had a lot of wind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what we're gonna make this podcast about, is the whole like cruising in Greece. What was your like first initial? Okay, what were your expectations of Greece, and how did you find Greece?
Well, I've always wanted to go to Greece. That was like, I feel like that's on a lot of people's bucket list, is to go to Greece. So for me, I was so pumped to go. But I guess my initial idea about Greece was just, I don't know, like, I didn't have any idea what the sailing would be like personally. I knew more of like what the culture was going to be like. So I think my expectations for sailing was pretty calm, maybe a little rough, but overall it was pretty calm like the whole time. It was actually just still water we were sailing on, and it was so beautiful. I did expect it to be a lot warmer.
Yeah. And
when we got there, I mean, we knew about the weather, so getting there, we knew it was going to be a little chilly, but I mean, I did not pack correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the weather. Well, we were there in like the last week of April, first week of May, which is early in the sailing season. Mm-hmm. Really, the peak sailing system in the Med is from like middle of June through September. Yeah. We were there a bit early. I mean, if you noticed, like all the restaurants and beaches were like empty. We had them all to ourselves.
I know, it was nice, but you could definitely tell it wasn't sailing season yet. It was the start of it because everyone, was still wearing jackets, and it wasn't necessarily like beach weather. Some people were on the beach, but it wasn't packed, which, like you said, it is nice. It was kind of to ourselves.
Well, yeah, we got to go to a lot of these places that would have been just packed, hard to find slips or moorings and all that.
Yeah.
But I think most people just, like, when I first went to Greece, or even when I first went to the Mediterranean 3 or 4 years ago, and we started in Corsica, which is one of the French islands, and we went over to some of the Italian islands and all that. Mm-hmm. I was thinking, okay, it's going to be really expensive because, you're in the Mediterranean, and when you think Europe, you think it's more expensive.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so when we got there and like Corsica and all that, I was amazed by how cheap it was. And then after we did Corsica and Italy, we went over to Greece, and it was just so cheap. And so I was really expecting it to be pretty cheap, and it definitely was.
Inexpensive, I'll tell you that. Actually, that's another thing. I did expect it to be pretty expensive just because your idea of like Europe is, just a little pricey. I mean, obviously it depends on where you go. Like, for example, we went to Mykonos for 2 days. And I mean, the price difference of what we paid for dinner for 6 people versus when we went to Kia or Naxos, or like that dinner price difference was, right. I mean, 5 times more.
We went, yeah, exactly, it was. Because, like, we averaged, our average meal, so we had 4 of us for some of the time, but most of the time we had 6 people. And so our average meal out was 120 euros total. Like, that includes tip and everything,
With
right?
6 people.
Yeah.
6 people.
So, like, you're talking $20 a person. And that was for appetizer, main course, dessert, and basically all the wine we could drink.
Yeah.
And because there's like a bottle of wine there, like literally is €5, like or less. Like you get a carafe of wine. It's just house wine. There's nothing remarkable about it. It's not
so good though.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely not a higher end wine.
It does the job.
But it does the job, right? And it's like $3 or $4 for that carafe of wine.
Yeah.
And so, and then the food and all that. But yeah, like you said, when we went to Mykonos, yeah, I mean, it went from $20 a person to $100 a person.
I know.
Because that one meal in Mykonos was like €600. 600 euros.
Yeah, basically $100 a person, which was crazy. So, if you go to the very famous, well-known places in Greece, such as Athens and Mykonos and Santorini, definitely you're going to see a price difference in when you go to those smaller, not as well-known islands. But it was cool. We got to see all of these islands in the Cyclades island group, and some places I never thought of or even heard of, and it was really cool, and getting to see all the different types of infrastructure, like buildings, and like different types of, all the food was very similar, I will say.
Yeah, that it was really good.
It was good though.
But that was the problem, is that like by the end of the 2.5 weeks we were there, we're like, okay, can we get some Italian food or some Mexican food or something? I mean, because like Greek food was good, but when you have it every day, all day.
Yeah, it's like anything. If you have anything the same day every day, same thing every day, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to get eventually a little tired of it, but
yeah.
I love Greek food, so I was not complaining,
Yeah.
but...
Well, I don't know. I think I remember you complaining a little bit.
No, I wanted to change a meal, like, to try something different, but I will say it was overall just such an amazing trip. I really am happy that we got to... It was cool. I definitely recommend anyone who goes to Greece, definitely, charter a boat, do something where you can be able to kind of not stay in one place, because there's so much to offer on each island, and it's so much beautiful scenery and culture, and there's so many nice people in Greece, and I feel of course Mykonos is beautiful and Athens is really cool, but you want to like go out of that a little bit, and if you're kind of a little adventurer just like me, definitely try and like go and see all the islands you can.
Yeah, I'd say, doing it by sailboat is obviously the easiest way to do it. But if you aren't into sailing, or you don't have, because that is the difference going to the Mediterranean and all that, is you have to be, like, if you want to charter a boat down here in the Bahamas, you don't actually have to have any certification. You will have to fill out a sailing resume, and they will want some experience before they'll just hand the boat over to you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But in Europe, they require you to have some kind of certification. So that could be ASA, RYT, IYT, RYA, anything like that. And they want a bareboat skipper. And generally, that takes probably, I don't know, so like the IYT course with Group Island Spirit. So if you're going to want to go to Thailand and learn to sail there, I highly recommend it. And that's actually the Sailing Doodles sailing school. So if you go to sailingdoodles.com, we've got our own sailing school on there, and it's there is no certification with it, but we're doing a Father's Day special right now. So if you put in code Father's Day at checkout, you get 30% off. So that's 6 hours of video instruction, so you get an idea of what it's going to be like when you actually go through there. But so the IYT course is based over 10 days, and so I'd imagine any RYA or ASA would be similarly paced. So you're probably looking at like three or four weekends to get your bareboat skipper certification, something like that.
Well, if you're definitely someone that sees yourself doing that, get a certification, do your sailing school. Even if you're doing both, it would be really great, because it's kind of like a studying guide.
Well, and I will say this, so that course I was just talking about, that was from zero to hero. So that's taking someone that's never been on a boat before and taking them to where they can bareboat captain their own boat.
Yeah, so if you want to do that, but you were like me, that's never really been on a boat before,
right,
go do your course first, and then go get your certification.
Sure. But what I'm saying is that, like, if you do have some experience or you've owned a boat and all that, you can probably skip through a lot of those other courses, like if you wanted to. So it wouldn't take 10 days, maybe just a long weekend.
Refresher. It's good to have a refresher.
Yeah.
I get it.
So you do have to have that. But, another thing, there are places in Europe that can be pretty expensive for like marinas and stuff like that, but Greece is not one of those places. We med moored probably 3/4 of the time, something like that. And I think maybe half of those times we didn't even pay anything for it.
And if we did pay, it was like it was 8 to 20 euro.
Yeah, 8
max.
to 20 euro,
like,
depending if we got power or not.
Yeah. So, and it's don't be discouraged. Med mooring is not that hard.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It wasn't that hard.
It wasn't that hard. I will say it's kind of easier than how we kind of.
What, dock here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
it essentially is kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you do when you're med mooring, you drop your anchor out and then you're backing up to the slip, so that really keeps your bow kind of pointed straight. So a lot of times when you're backing into a slip here or something
you're
like that,
doing this
the wind will
this.
push your bow over as you're backing in. So if you have your anchor down, your bow is going to stay straight, right? And so you can actually steer back into the boat, into the dock. But I will say, like, so there's two ways of mooring over there. They have both are really med mooring. But so you either drop your anchor and back into the slip, or you back into the slip, throw your lines on, and then you motor forward off your lines, and somebody hands you it's called a sand line or a lazy line, and so there's a thin gauge line tied to the dock, and then that line goes down to the bottom and ties to a thicker line that's tied to a concrete block off your bow. So you have to, y'all did that a time or two.
Kind of like a mooring line.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a lot more pain in the butt. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot more secure because you're not going to drag an anchor and slip back into the dock.
It depends on where you are and what situation you're in.
Yeah,
For sure.
So, yeah, so that's that. Ooh, I gotta adjust this a little bit. Sorry. Well, okay, no, there we go. Anyway, sorry, Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. I mixed this on the fly. So I got this little keypad right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Well, I mean, I don't have like a producer over here doing all this stuff. It'd be nice if I did.
Yeah, you do.
Who?
Bucky.
Oh, well, where is he?
He's out there.
He's out there.
He's sunbathing.
Yeah, he does like to sunbathe a lot. He's being a black dog. I would think he'd want to be in the shade a lot.
No, he loves the sun.
Yeah. So we did have someone come and stay with Bucky. My mom came for a while, and then we had Jenny, who's been on the channel before. She came and stayed and watched Bucky for a while.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I mean, cruising Greece and the water. I mean, the water is just as pretty as anywhere in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, I'm so sad that it was just really cold. That's the thing, is like I knew the weather was gonna be chilly, but I didn't expect it to be that cold. But again, you have to remember you're on the water. So when you're on the water, a lot of times, like, we would go on land, and I'd bring like 2 jackets, and I get on land and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sweating. But as soon as you got on the boat, you're like, oh, it's kind of cold. So it was this weird temperature like change, and just trying to like find the right happy medium. Like, I wanted to go in the water so bad, but
well, yeah, but I mean, I'm a cold water weenie. Like, the water temperature was like 67 degrees, which is a bit cold for me.
I mean, it's cold. Plus, it's not like it's really hot out and the water's cold. I could totally do that, but it was a little windy. It definitely wasn't, shorts and t-shirt weather, so it was really hard to like want to jump in the water,
Yeah,
but it was beautiful, the water.
Meg and Floor did it some, but
crazy. But if you felt their skin,
afterwards they were freezing.
Oh my gosh, they were like ice cubes.
Well, but by mid-June into June, the water temperature is probably around 75, 78, and then you get into July, the water temperature is like 78, 80, so it's nice. And then so right now would be the great time to go, but I think the prices are a little more expensive.
Definitely probably go up during the peak of the summer there, but again, like I said, if you take, if you charter a boat or you have a boat there or whatever, and you want to go around, the Cyclades Islands, or what's that other island group? More west?
Yeah, it's just off the west of Athens. I'd have to look it up. I don't.
Well, there's also an island chain over there, and there's so many islands to go to that have so much to offer. So doing that is a really cool experience.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing in the Cyclades there. Cyclades, sorry, people have been correcting me. I think it's Cyclades or something.
Cyclades, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to butcher it.
Yeah. But they were saying that those are the windier islands, and we definitely saw proof of that.
A lot of you were calling me out for being scared, and they're like, someone said, don't go downstairs if the boat capsizes. That's the one place you don't want to be. And I'm like, you know what? It was like blowing 45 knots of wind. Yeah, it was pushing 48. Hard, and plus, just the swell was super high, and I was a little scared, I'm not gonna lie. I know on a boat, regardless, you may heel over on any boat. I get that. I I just don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I try to be strong.
You were good. You did good. I mean, it was, we were never in any danger.
I know. It's that, it's like when you go on a roller coaster and it's the drop down and you're like, I know I'm not going to die, but the feeling like your stomach drops, like that's how it feels when I'm on a boat and it heels over, because you're just like, I don't want to fall, and you're not going to fall, the boat's not going to capsize, you're going to be fine, but it's always that like your body's telling you something even though you're like, I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, so that was the thing. When we left the dock, it was blowing. Well, when we were on the dock, it was 20 to 25 knots of wind, and occasionally gusting. What?
I was drinking my drink, and I made a farting sound with my nose, my mouth. So if it sounds like that, I didn't fart. It's the drink.
I think. Yeah. Anything else there?
Nope. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll let you. So she was not farting. Just
Go. You were saying?
Well, the winds were blowing 25 knots at the dock, and then when it would occasionally gust over 30 at the dock, and so I was expecting it to be a little bit more. I was thinking, okay, maybe it's 30 knots gusting 35, but when we got off the dock, it was 35 knots gusting to 48, and it was definitely. I mean, we were heeled over, so. When we left the marina there, we had about 4 miles to go to clear this rock before we could turn basically straight downwind.
I know.
And so we were going basically beam on to the wind, and the wind's blowing 45 knots. We didn't have any sail out, and we were heeled over 15 degrees. And so
that's why I was nervous, because
Yeah.
I'm like, we have no sail out. It is blowing hard, and just terrifying, honestly. But was a cool experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
It was fun.
It was.
And then but then we finally turned around that rock, and we were going straight downwind. It was still blowing 38, 40 knots, and we had maybe a third or a half of our head sail out, and we were doing 8 to 9 knots.
No,
we
imagine you had full sails out.
Oh, you couldn't have you couldn't have full sails out. It would basically rip the. I think I should have put a. It's getting a little over bright there, but oh well. What can we do? I guess I could probably edit it. Sorry guys, the video quality is not the greatest here. But yeah. So but then the further we got away from Mykonos, the wind dropped off.
Yeah.
By the time we got down around the bottom edge of Naxos or Paros. Paros or Naxos, one of the two.
It was Naxos.
I think it was Naxos, yeah.
It was
Paros
like, it was in Naxos, between Paros and Naxos. It was that island more,
yeah.
God is coming.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so that's the problem with not doing this in a studio, is that the sun decides to make an appearance, and now all of a sudden all the lighting is way overblown. So I apologize if you're watching this, but what can we do? The sun just came out. I don't have a proper studio.
Is it like too bright?
It's way too bright. But now the sun's going back down, so yeah. See, it's getting a little better. But that I will say that's one of the challenges of producing YouTube, is especially like most YouTubers, they have a proper studio.
Well, yeah, it depends on what you're doing. Like someone who travels like you, or any other YouTube, depending on what travel they do, like your studio is your camera, your gear, and your computer. So like you don't have a pop-up foldable house you can bring with you that has this light like you.
I mean, like you're seeing our sink and all our dirty dishes over there. I mean, there's not much.
We're clean, I promise.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just okay. Everybody when they start out doing YouTube, sure, they are just editing in their dining room table or whatever. But this is our dining room table, and actually, it's no longer our dining room table.
I was gonna say we don't eat here ever.
Well,
I've never ate here before.
Right. Well,
all my time being on this boat.
I'll eat here just because I'm sitting here working while eating.
Yeah. So this is Bobby's studio.
Yeah. So okay, the girls are back, so I'm gonna let them know we are recording a podcast. Hey guys, we are recording a podcast, by the way.
Hey y'all.
Y'all can come in. Just
Y'all can come in. I keep saying y'all. I've been in Texas for too long.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So the girls are back. I don't know what they were doing. Yeah, you can come in. Just So yeah, that is a challenge. I mean, like when you're first starting out.
Are you kidding me?
Where'd you go?
We were opening a cocktail
Oh no, is it bad?
Is she okay?
She lost a lot of blood, so I'm fixing
Like-
it right now.
A lot of blood or some blood?
Some.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Not-
let me know if you need me.
Okay.
It's not. She's not going to require stitches or anything.
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let
Okay.
us know.
A lot.
Heart attacks.
A lot of blood is not the same thing as like I need a Band-Aid.
Blood is blood, man.
Okay.
Well, hopefully she doesn't need stitches.
Yeah. No, she's fine. She's holding her. Yeah, she's okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. So another thing, not having a studio, is that we're doing this in the gallery. Yeah, so I mean, like we can't have like a private space to do it. But I mean, because everybody, like I said, everybody does start off doing YouTube in their bedroom or dining room or whatever, kitchen. They're editing on the couch, and once you get to a certain level, it makes it easier. Number one, and then number two, you get the better professionalism. I mean, like. I would love to have some proper studio cameras in here and microphones in here, but like, where would I put them? And then I'm have to. I mean, like we're doing this with webcams just because, I mean, we can, right? Because these are small and portable, and we can put them up. But I mean, like, to have a whole proper studio with that camera behind you and have like 3 of those cameras and everything. That would
Well,
be,
that's what I was saying before. Like, if you're in one stable place, like you can set up a studio where you can control the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
We're here on a boat, like we don't know what the weather's gonna be like.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a pretty nice job to have, even though I do wish I had a studio sometimes.
If that's what you're complaining about, man.
Well, yeah. Well, so hey, the new boat is going to have a dedicated office in it. So I'm not sure how that will, be with podcasting.
I think you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I think you will. I think you'll, at your office, maybe there'll be enough space where you can set it up that you can control the lighting. Like, for example, it will be kind of down the stairs, so you can maybe do something with the windows.
Sure, I can just put blackouts on the windows and have.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have. So I do have lights in here, but we turned them on. It was just we were already too blown out from all that.
I was just so beautiful that you had to turn off
glowing.
the just glowing.
Angelic. Yeah. Okay. She's she's very modest too. Mm-hmm.
It's called sarcasm.
Oh. Okay. So anyway, so what else about Greece there?
Oh man, I mean, there's just so much. Like, it feels so crazy because we had this kind of had this plan last minute, but like we were preparing for this. So having like it's already over and we're back. It's kind of crazy how time flies so fast.
Right. So, by the way, let me open another one because So this was last minute. So basically, Navigar Yachting, they're a charter management and a charter company, plus then a yacht ownership company. So kind of the way it works with them is if you wanted to buy a yacht, you put 20% down. So say just for math's sake, it's a $500,000 boat. So you put $100,000 down, and then they have several different programs where you earn money off of that. If they have their ultimate program or something, whatever they call it, is you put 50% down and you put it in their program for like 6 or 7 years, and at the end, and it pays for itself. So at the end of that time, all you did was pay for half the boat, and then you get the boat back. Or you can do 20% down, and then you get guaranteed income depending on what it is, like 9% or something like that. So it hopefully pays the note on the boat, and you get to use it 6 or 7 months here. So there's that. Or you can just charter it. And so if you are interested, if you use code DOODLE at checkout, you get $300 off your charter. So that's at navigar-yachting.com. But anyway, so we did a charter, not a charter. They gave us a catamaran and the BVI for 6 days.
Yeah.
And so we cruised around there and made some videos with them, and I guess it worked really well. So all of a sudden, I guess they wanted to promote their Greek base, and they said, when can you get there?
And we're like, I don't know where we were at the time.
We were in St. Martin, I believe. No, we were in Antigua.
We were in Antigua because I remember we were still at the marina, and you were like, "Oh, I had a phone call with Navigar," and he was just so subtle about it. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, we're just gonna go to Greece. And I'm like,
Yeah. She
Greece.
started freaking
And
out.
I was like, we're going to Greece, and we're all freaking out. And so we had only like how many months? Like 2 months before we left.
Well, so that was like mid-November, and they wanted us.
really?
Yeah, and they wanted us to go the last week of
No.
February, April. Yeah, it was.
But the girls didn't. When did the girls get on the boat?
They got on the boat like January 1st. Remember, I was editing that video today, and I remember specifically we made it.
But the girls were
we made
here
it
on the boat.
We made it to St. Martin on Valentine's Day, and we already knew by then.
You said February.
Yes.
You said November.
Oh, whatever. I'm sorry.
I was like,
So no, we were in
whatever. But yeah, so we only had like
2 months to get here to the Bahamas.
so that really kind of like didn't mess up our plans.
No.
It changed our schedule.
Yeah, we just
So we had-
accelerated everything a lot.
So we kind of had to like get moving
yeah.
with certain things, like people. How many weeks or months do people usually spend in the Exumas?
Well, I mean, we wanted to spend like a month and a half in the Exumas, right? And then we wanted to spend, a month in Dominican and Puerto Rico and all that stuff.
But then kind of just because we had to get to Marsh Harbor, where Navigar has one of their bases.
yeah, that's where we left our boat here at that
Yeah,
base.
so we couldn't, do the month kind of everywhere. We had only a certain amount of days
Yeah,
or weeks until we had to.
But then we didn't even leave St. Martin until after the Heineken Regatta, which would have been around like March 8th or something like that.
It was like the first weekend of March.
So we didn't even leave St. Martin until like March 10th or 11th, and then we made it here to the Bahamas April like 20th, something like that. So we did 50 days to go from
We did a
St.
lot
Martin
of
all the way here. Yeah.
miles.
So we did several long passages. We did
We did.
St. Martin to Dominican well, not really. We stopped overnight once.
We did. We stopped for a couple hours in Puerto Rico.
Or we just anchored. We didn't.
Well, we didn't
yeah.
go into Puerto Rico. We
Yeah.
just kind of anchored out just to get some rest because we all were. I was like a 30-hour passage nonstop.
I think it was.
Well, we stopped, but total it was like 30 hours.
Oh, it was like 40 because we was like 30 hours
40.
to where we stopped in Puerto Rico, and then
Yeah.
it was another 10 hours from where we stopped in Puerto Rico
Yeah.
to Dominican.
It was kind of a long trip. So between that and then we went from Dominican to Bahamas.
Yeah.
That was what 30 hours.
Yeah. Well, we did from Punta Cana, the south end of Dominican, and then we went to Samaná, and then from Samaná, I think we went straight there.
Yeah,
right?
we didn't go
didn't stop.
to
Puerto Plata.
Puerto Plata.
Yeah, we skipped that. And
So-
so it was 38 hours or so from
For almost like
Samaná
40 hours.
all the way to Inagua. And then got waited there for a while. And luckily, we had enough fuel to get to where was that? The Ackland Islands, the Crooked Island there, because they were out of fuel. And you see your margarita still pretty strong.
No, it's just like a little sour now and strong. That's good. I didn't measure.
But we made it here to the Bahamas. Took a while, but no big deal. But so now we've been stuck here for a while. I've had family issues, so I had to go home and Goose had put him down. You went with me for that.
Yeah.
And then my grandma passed away a couple weeks ago, so we had to go home for that. And then now
Yeah.
we're stuck here, waiting on a boat part.
I know.
So we're only going to cruise around the Abacos for a week or so.
I know. It's not really a long
Yeah,
time,
and we're
but
close.
we have been traveling a lot, so it will be nice to take a little break and then on to our next adventure.
So I'd love to go back and do some more sailing in the Mediterranean, but we got so much going on.
Turkey is somewhere
Yeah.
everyone keeps saying sailing would be amazing.
Well, Navigar has a base in Turkey. I actually reached out to him about it. I was like, hey, why don't we head up to Turkey? Oh, is that because that thing maybe it's moving? I don't know why. But yeah, I reached out to him. I'll see if we can make something happen there.
Yeah. Well, Navgar, if you're watching, let's make Turkey
Yeah.
a thing.
So we are selling the dark side. So if you're interested in buying this boat, you can go to sailingdoodles.com. It's
I love this boat.
it's a great boat, but I want to do a circumnavigation, and this boat can't do that. So I need to go back to a sailboat.
No, for sure it can't.
So I put a deposit down on a catamaran. We won't be getting that till next year, so that's why we might partner with some charter companies or Navigar again over the next 6 months or 6 or 8 months, because if we sell this boat in the next month, then
Or boatless.
Yeah, boatless. I have been talking to this guy that has a Lagoon 570. It's an old one though. It's 20 years old. But he was talking about maybe leasing it to me, but I was like, I just don't know if that would work.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Just because.
One thing about being with Bobby is that things always come up. Tomorrow someone will be like, I have a boat in Italy. Would you like to sail it? Or random things pop up and plans always change. And
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a long range planner, but like I keep my options.
you have an
open.
idea rather than like a plan.
Well, no, I'm planning out what I'm doing for the next 6 months. Like,
No.
like I've already got it planned out for 6 months what we're doing, right? I mean, like we got stuff to do. I mean, I could go down the list, but I'm not going to talk about it too much here. But like, if a great opportunity comes up,
I know, like the whole Greece thing.
yeah. I mean, like it's hard to say no, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I have plans, but they're not set in stone. So I don't know. We'll see what happens and where we're going and all that. But you know, it's always something, right?
Always something.
Yeah. But yeah. So I guess that's kind of what's going on for the next little bit. We're going to be crossing over to Florida here in the next couple weeks and selling this boat. So if you are interested, you can go to sailingdoodles.com. And there's all the listing information there. It's on Yacht World too.
And
if you
for
want
an
to look it up.
extra, if you throw an extra, I'm part of the boat. Kidding. I'm kidding.
Is this like an indecent proposal type thing? I mean, like, how much are we talking here? Do I get a share of this?
No.
Oh, it's just you?
I'm like an additional cost, but it's not necessary.
Women always are an additional cost.
Hey. Stop it.
You ever heard the theory of the 3 Fs?
I have. Well, what is it? I've heard of this. I think Jan said this.
Yeah. If it floats, flies, or fornicates, it's cheaper to rent it.
God. Oh, I have a joke for you.
Oh, great. Okay. Is this your
Yeah.
carpenter joke? You already told it to me. You already told it to me.
I did. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'll tell it to you guys. How did a carpenter know the wood was cut? He saw it. He saw it. He saw it. Come on! You gotta add like some laughing, like background, like people laughing, like an
Like
audience.
Seinfeld?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, to that.
Yeah. So.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. To sawing it. So there's that. So then we're gonna be crossing over to Florida. That would be mid-June, and we're doing it's for charity. It's a seminar about the cruising life. So I've done it a couple times at the Annapolis Boat Show last year. It's an hour-and-a-half long presentation. It's actually an hour-long presentation I have about the cruising life and what all pertains to that. You know, like
lifestyle, what
lifestyle,
you need,
costs, cruising area safety, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's really important.
And so we're giving that seminar for charity. We're charging $35 for the tickets. There's only 50 tickets available. I think they're maybe a third sold out. So they like 15 or 20 sold. So if you're interested, I'll put a link down in the description of this video. If you're just listening to this, I don't know what the link is, but you can go to our website and hit our contact there, and I'll have somebody send you the link. Yeah, so it's for charity. All of the proceeds, or all of the money, and none of it's coming to me. Goes to the Gilda's Club charity, which is a cancer support group. So if people with cancer, they need to go for their treatments and stuff like that, they can do childcare, and then they do like counseling and stuff like that for
Which
them.
is really important.
Yeah.
Going through something really tough like that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, especially if you got a family and all that, trying to go through all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing that in June, and then we do have I think it's probably sold out mostly. So we have the Flotilla, July 16th through the 21st. So we got 6 nights on a boat here in the Abacos. I think we have 7 or 8 boats chartered through Navigar.
That's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to meet you guys.
Yeah.
That'll be so much fun. And
we needed to do we'll have to do we'll do it on a live stream. I meant to do that. We'll have to do a live stream, and because we're going to invite one of our patrons to join us on that.
yeah.
So if you are interested in becoming a patron, patreon.com/sailingdoodles. It kind of helps us pay the bills here, because one video I've been meaning to make for a while was the whole Facebook demonetization. Yeah. So what happened is I years ago made a video about Pablo Escobar's crashed airplane. It's supposedly, I don't know if it was or not, but it supposedly was. That's the story it goes. That the cartel had had an airstrip in the Bahamas on Norman's Island, and one of their airplanes crashed on takeoff, and it's still out in the water. We snorkeled through it, and it's pretty cool to check out. Anyway, so I was taking older videos and putting them on Facebook and monetizing them on there, and Facebook took the video down and said it was promoting dangerous people or organizations. And they not only took that video down, but they demonetized my entire platform on Facebook. And it's just been, I mean, that's about maybe a quarter of my income is just gone. And the really messed up thing about it is that, I appealed it. I never heard anything back, right? For just whatever. So Megan, who's sailing with us now, has some friends that work at Facebook and management or whatever, contacted them, and they said, okay, we'll look into it. They looked into it and said, yeah, that shouldn't have happened. They reinstated that video, but my channel's still demonetized. And
Is it still?
yes.
I just hate that you can't talk to anyone about it.
I can't talk to anyone about it.
Like, you're talking to a robot. You're not talking to a human.
Right.
Which I think is crazy, because people like you and other people in the world make money off of being someone who...
I make them money. So that's the thing, is that they're still showing my videos on Facebook.
But you don't get anything.
I'm getting 500,000 views a week on Facebook. I'm getting nothing from that. And the thing is that, okay, YouTube is not, Facebook. YouTube has its own thing. I've had issues with YouTube in the past, but they have a 3-strike policy. So, 3 strikes and you're out. Plus, they make it easier to connect. Like, as a creator, I can get online right now and text and chat with somebody. Plus, I have an associate that I have her email, and we FaceTime at least once a month. Yeah. So, I can get that stuff done. On Facebook, not happening. So the thing is, they're still showing my videos. They're not monetizing directly my videos, but the whole thing about these social media platforms is they want people to come onto their platform and stay on their platform. That's how they really show all their ad people that, hey, look, we got somebody spent 30 minutes watching our videos the other day, so we can sell your ads for this. Mm-hmm. So they're not directly monetizing my videos, but they're monetizing each video on each side. Mm-hmm. So they're making money off of my videos, and it's really unfair that I'm not. And here is this really scary thing, is that by what they're doing, they are influencing the narrative of what people put out, right? So I'm going to be very careful from now on not to mention any dangerous organizations or places.
Well, I think Pablo Escobar is, for example, that's history. There's so many documentaries and TV shows made about him. I watched, for example, Narcos. That's a TV show on Netflix. And, I don't think you were doing any harm by just mentioning, the historical thing that happened, which is, people know the plane crash.
Well, exactly. But so by reinstating the video, they show, okay, that was an error. Our computer did this in error, thinking you were promoting the Medellin cartel, right? Mm-hmm. I was not. But they still demonetized my platform. So here's the thing, is that people that earn their living from social media, you have to be careful on what you post. You can't post something too political or too dangerous or whatever, because then you might not make any money or get demonetized, and that's how you earn your living. And so they can influence people's basically thoughts and reactions by doing that.
I could see if you were saying something, for example, if you were saying something dangerous, not having to do with Pablo Escobar, but just in general, for anyone, if you are saying something extremely dangerous or threatening to someone's life,
sure,
of course.
Okay, threatening to someone's life, absolutely. But who decides what is a dangerous thought or a dangerous what you're saying. I mean, like, okay, maybe one person on one side of the platform thinks it's dangerous that you should speak out about something, whereas the other people agree with it. So, I mean, I'm not going to get into politics on it. Like, I don't want to mention sides or whatever.
We're talking about Greece right now.
Yeah, sorry. But obviously, oh man, this thing froze up again. Anyway, so that's the issue I'm having with Facebook right now. So we had some other more technical difficulty here. This was the problem with not having a proper studio here.
Well, overall, with Greece, I definitely think there's so many places in Europe I want to go. But, like, Greece, the fact that when you cross something off your bucket list and you're like, yes. Now I don't have to, not that you don't have to worry about it, but it's like, cool, I live knowing I was there, and Greece was definitely one of them. That was really cool for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Greece is it's a pretty great place to go cruising. It's beautiful. The water's great. I think the water clarity in the Mediterranean was pretty amazing.
Oh, it was just, if it wasn't so cold, I would have swam in it every day.
And another thing is that there's basically no tides in the Mediterranean.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Yeah, because there's only one way in and out for the water to go, and so if you're far enough east, I mean, there's no tides. So
I will say this, that if you are sailing in the Med, that do keep in mind that your boat is going to get dirty because of the sandstorms and the dust that comes from, where does it come from? The Sahara?
Yeah, the Saharan dust. It gets, kicked up there, and then it goes over, and it's just this red dust that goes.
Like, we were opening the head sail, and we were like, why is it so dirty?
Yeah.
At first, we're like, no offense, this is kind of crazy that, like, they kept this thing so dirty. And then I remember Jan, our friend that came with us, was like, it's from the desert. And we're like, oh my gosh. And then by the end of the 2 weeks after being on the boat, just the amount of sand and dust that, like,
when it rained, that one day it rained.
Yeah.
That's when it just covered the boat in dust.
Yeah, because it's just not, you think it'd clean it, it's the opposite of it. Like, it's coming with the rain.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Just keep in mind. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this podcast today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's available on YouTube and in video format. And, of course, wherever you get your audio podcasts. If you want to listen to this stuff in the car, there's probably 20 or 30 episodes up right now. So check that out.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. It's our patrons that makes the channel possible. So thank you much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Steph. Cheers to you.
Thanks, Bobby.
Sure.
Thanks, everyone. And tune in next time.
Yep. All right. Let's go.